Hello, everyone. Welcome to my playthrough of Riven, the sequel to Myst. That's actually the title. Riven, the sequel to Myst. So, if you'll remember, or you may not, at the end of Real Myst, which is not the original Myst, but it came out after this, so they linked it. Atris said that he would need our help at some point to save his wife Catherine from a world in which she is being imprisoned. So that's what this is. It's you going to save her. And I love this game. It's one of my favorites. So for now I will just shut up and let the opening play, which I think is one of my favorite intros in games.
Thank God you've returned. I need your help. There's a great deal of history that you should know, but I'm afraid that I must continue my writing. Here. Most of what you'll need to know is in there. Keep it well hidden. For all reasons you'll discover, I can't send you to Riven with a way out. But I can give you this. It appears to be a linking book, back here to Dunny. But it's actually a one-man prison. You'll need it, I'm afraid, to capture Gan. Once you've found Catherine, signal me, and I'll come with a linking book to bring us back. There's also a chance, if this all goes well, that I might be able to get you back to the place that you came from.
Yo? Feriaje. Kakaware po. Namudugoy po men po. Tagema. Rekoa. Tagema. Musu rekoa. Wisirapo. Wisirapo. Umutika buku wa nai. Wisirapo. Umutika buku wa nai. Buku wa nai. Wisirapo. Buku wa nai. Buku wa nai. Buku wa nai. Buku wa nai.
And here we are in the age of Riven. Yeah, they wedged that lever open. So yeah, this is Riven. So we are here to rescue Atris's wife, Catherine, from his father, Gen. And this is one of Gen's ages that he wrote. These little viewers kind of tell the mythology of Riven. Gen was one of the last of the Dani, those people who can write worlds like this. And this is one of the worlds he wrote. He wasn't a very good writer, so it's falling apart. If you noticed in the opening, the window on the book was like not working properly, and that is a function of the world kind of falling apart. Which, hi Graham. Yeah, that tells the events of what happened before Myst in the. Hey, Dog Nozzle. So yeah, this tells what happens in the opening scene of Myst, where throws himself into a chasm, and this world kind of sees Gen as their god because he, to them at least, created this world. Oh, hi, buddy. Okay. My cat's walking around on the desk. This is just beautiful. And these pictures were on the slipcovers that came with the that came with the game. The slipcovers that held the game's 5 discs. Okay. So, in contrast to Myst, where you have a bunch of individual ages which are like all fairly self-contained, Riven is basically one giant puzzle. It's not all one giant puzzle, but it's pretty close. Okay, there's other doors in there. Alright, I have that diary from Atris. I won't read it now because it'd take a while and I don't feel like front-loading all the exposition, but I'll get to it soon enough. don't think I can do anything else here right now. I have played this game before. Oh yeah, no problem, Dog Nozzle. Yeah, this is a good-ass game. And it's like... I was intending on streaming it anyway, but the WAF kind of accelerated that. If you didn't... Were you here to catch, like, the very opening? Yeah, I would recommend, because there's nothing super important that's going to happen right now. I would recommend going and looking up the opening, like, scene of Riven. It's phenomenal. Or you can, watch it VOD after this is over. Either way, it is chef's kiss. Oh yeah, I remember this. This is one of those things that is just there for flavor. I have played this game before, but it's been a while. So, but also like the ending puzzles are not necessarily counterintuitive, but they require some leaps of logic that when I first played this, back when I was 13, 14, I didn't get it at the time. So I looked up walkthroughs and now I'm a little spoiled on it, but I don't remember everything. It's just, oh, the visuals. I know it's all pre-rendered, stuff like that, but it is so wonderfully made. Oh, and I love this too. Most of the, so in this game you travel between 5 islands, mainly 4. But most of the transitions between them are essentially roller coasters. And just cool, weird machinery. And away we go. Yeah, Myst is a weird game. And it can be baffling for some people. I didn't quite get it either when I first played it. Like, I was able to figure out the puzzles, but the solutions, like, made no sense. Okay, yeah. Yeah, those AVIs. Okay. I do have a piece of paper with me to take notes. That's kind of a prerequisite for. Hold on. Let me make some room on my desk for these kinds of games, especially of this vintage. And I happen to know that this is into a that this works into a puzzle. So, okay, so make note of that symbol, and it's like a light chirp, I guess. No, they didn't do that. Myst, they've done that with Myst, but I don't know why they've never done it with Riven. Maybe it's just the size is prohibitive, because this is a much bigger game. But no, they haven't. They did that also for Myst 5 where they uh where that was the game where it stopped just being pre-rendered and was just like real-time 3D. And Mysts 3 and 4 did like a hybrid where it was you moved from place to place, but wherever you were, you could like move around and you could look around in 360. Yeah, I'm just I think those are supposed to be warning towers. Also with this, I don't know like how they made it, so I don't know how much trouble it would be to go through and remake this game. Oh, it's so blurry. So blurry. You can see like people moving up there, but it's all so blurry. Oh yeah, this thing where they have the really weird water. There is, or at least there was. I don't know. I haven't done Apple products for a long time. There was at least used to be an iPad slash iPhone version of Riven. I don't know if it's still on the App Store. And I completely misread that. You weren't saying, "Oh, this would look good on an iPad like to play." You're just saying, "Oh, you're watching it on an iPad and it fits the screen size." Oh, but no, I'm looking at this like from foot to like 2 feet away from a 1440p monitor. It's like 27 inches. So yeah, it's so blurry and there's so much dithering. Yeah, I mean, you can say what you want about like the interactivity or the slideshow nature of these games, but Riven in particular, hold on. Riven in particular has a very good look to it. So yeah, this is the village of like the natives. So I don't know how much you were here for this at the beginning, Dog Nozzle, but I know Picklefax wasn't. So Atris, the guy from Myst 1, sends you here to rescue his wife. This is a dying world. It was made by his father, Gen, who was part of this Dani. They were a culture who could create worlds or link to different worlds through special writing stuff, special books with special paper, special ink, in a special language, all that kind of stuff. And Gen wasn't very good at it. He was basically a copy and paster. He would take little bits here and there from other books, which resulted in his worlds not being that not holding together that well. So yeah, this place is like on its last legs. Yeah, that's the island we came from. There. I can only imagine like how much a labor of love this game was just because of everything that goes into it. Yeah, I remember this being here. This is pretty neat. And there's that thing up in the top that's spinning that we'll figure that out later. Oh, I didn't think we'd get to it this soon. Yeah. These big spinning balls. Okay. I'm taking a note of this. Because I think yeah, I think it's just the one that is yellow on there. It's kind of tough to tell because they're all kind of like dingy, but yeah, it's just the one. If that, I don't remember if that comes into play or not, but I think it does. Throne made out of a giant skull. Is it metal? That's all that does. I love that they just have these like, oh yeah, I think I remember what that is. Yeah, that's a gallows. Yeah, that's right. That's a gallows. So whoever's sitting up here, pull the lever, drop the floor out. Someone hangs. Okay. Oh, yes, that's right. Who's ready for a roller coaster? Is the game too loud when it does stuff like that? Because it maxes out the sound meter in OBS. I've turned the gain down on it, but I can only hear it through my headphones. Okay. Alright, well that's good. Just wanted to make sure I wasn't blowing anyone's ears out. So I have to turn those lights on, I think. What? So that's... What is that? It's like the inside of a house? Hut, something. Oh. Ah, shit, I clicked away. No. That... Oh, here it is. I think that's supposed to be Catherine, Atris's wife. I think. Okay. Now, let's see. Does this do anything? Okay. So, each of these are... Is that it? Okay. So yeah, that symbol there is associated with the red light, it looks like. I think those were actually tusks on the fish thing. Think. Oh. Okay, so this thing is broken. I'm just taking notes here. Okay. That's green. That's like a cyan, I want to say. I know they'll use that color instead of just blue. This is yellow. And this one is orange. Oh, Gary's gonna have a hell of a time with this, being colorblind. I think that's lava thing. These contraptions are all great. I love them. Oh. Is that like floating water? Oh, hey, I'm on the other side. Or is this a, Oh, I think this is a different... Yeah, this is a different, thing. We can take advantage of this dual-sided dock thing. And explore the other side. Okay, so it's at the top of this... Oh, okay, I can't see... Just from... looking at it, it looks like the flat eye closed, and that's the top of whatever this is. Let's see. I remember this. Yeah, I remember this, and this is a pain in the dick. This particular puzzle. Yeah, it's like, one of those things where you put your hand in it and it pushes the pins out the other side. Yeah, I'm going to leave this till later because I remember this being... I know this is like an integral thing. And I think I need more info. Well, I don't need it. I can get technically all I need from it right now. Because the only thing you need from this game is knowledge. So I could finish up here right now, but I'm not going to do that just because I know that particular puzzle is a pain in the butt. So instead, I'm going to build up to it. Giant gold dome off in the distance. Locked. So... Okay, I can't do anything more this way. Gotta go back. Can I do anything on the other side? Nope. I'm just gonna skip through some of the animations now, since they've played. Ready? Oh. Who took that? Is there anything else on the other side of this? Nope. Man, during those movement scenes, you can really see the compression. Like, this stuff just had to be compressed all to hell. I do wonder, like, what would this look like uncompressed? Do those files exist? Aw, little kid. Where'd she go? Okay, they're sounding their warning again. I don't want to sit through that every time. Is there anything else I can do here? Well, maybe. Let me bring this back up. Can I get in? Yes, I can. I forgot. Okay. I can get in, but I can't do anything. Okay. I'll send it back down, assuming that I can get down there some other way. Yeah, like it's right there. Can I? Yes, there appears to be... Okay. From here... There seems to be a path over there somehow. Or is there a way to call it? Whoops. I'm gonna try one more time. Oh yeah, I think if you knock on this door enough... Nope. They're not coming out. Okay, is there anything? Can't see anything that I could use. So... just send it down and I should be able to... That was a kid. Right. Yeah, there's a platform down there, it looks like, that extends out. So I should be able to get down there some other way. There's more stuff over there that I can't reach from here. Okay. Let's head out of here for now. Okay, this is... Oh, right, I can go down these stairs. I forgot about that. Okay, so that symbol there. It had like a whale thing, which was that made the same noise as that thing with tusks. Is there? No, there's no branching paths. Okay, here we go. This is where we need to go. And okay, so that was like what, a half, or like a, yeah, like a crescent on the left hand side. That's a bug noise. That's very clearly a bug. And the water is, yeah, I'm remembering this now. The water even kind of looks like the shape of the bug. So that's how you know. And if that's the case, if I go back. Okay, so this is actually a moment of like fake discovery because I remembered it before, but you can see the rocks here are kind of shaped like that thing, that whale-ish thing that had the tusks. And again, this is like what getting spoiled on this game and not figuring it out properly the first time kind of screwed me up on it. But yeah, you can see here this. Oh, that's neat. The little ball is always the eye of whatever it is. So okay. It is like, yeah, this game, when I first played it, had a bunch of logical leaps I didn't realize how to make. So okay. Is this a place I can get out? No. I think I should, but huh. I'm starting to get a little lost here. I think... Oh yeah, and that's right. And this lever at the bottom changes the direction you go. Okay, and this looks like a dead end here. There we go. What is up here? Okay. What do those do? Doesn't seem to change anything. It's gotta be like something. And I can't go forward from here. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to make a map of this. So, levers. Oh, it sent the ladder down. Okay. Okay. Gallows. Okay, so I think I've got to go back up onto that throne thing and fill in the floor. Okay. Yeah. So there's nothing here. So let's take the left way. Okay, and this is the initial dock. Oh wait, no, I wanted to go that way. Yeah, and this is the same four-way interchange from before. Yeah, the Myst games are generally pretty good about showing you what's these levers and stuff, what the machines actually do. And I don't think I can go forward from here. Right. Okay, so what is this then? Okay, so this is like a hut.
Terekoi Danni, Ki Bayem Revat, Alroyem Betig Tavom, Gabodona Gayem. Ram.
Okay. Yeah, that's Donnie writing. And then, oh yeah, I remember this. I didn't get what this was at the time, but this is actually a pretty good... Okay, so that was 9. Yeah, this is meant to teach you dummy numbers, actually. So, that was 9. Okay, so that is 5. I'm a bit confused on that. Did I count 10 there? Oh god, I'm not sure now. A gruesome little toy. Okay, let me try this again. Okay, that was 7. That was very clearly 7. Okay, that was 6. Okay, that is 7. Okay, that was 4. Yes, that's what this is teaching you. Those are Donnie numbers, and they're trying to teach you how they work. I forget exactly why, but if you'll notice, this symbol down here is actually the logo of the game because... oh, it reset! Because Riven is Gen's 5th age. The 5th age he wrote. Okay, that's 6. That's 4. That's 5. Four again. Okay, that's another one. That's 3. Oh, okay, now I remember what it's for. If you'll remember those, there were those balls there that made the noise and had the symbol on the other side. They were these same symbols, so they correspond to... At some point I'm going to need to put these in a particular order, and they're telling me the order, and this is meant to tell you what the numbers are. Okay, that's 2. Yeah, I learned these when I was in high school because I was a fucking nerd. Dunny is base 25, actually. That was 9. Don't get it. Oh, well. Yes, it is. It's something they invented for this thing. And I may come back here, but I am not going to fiddle with that just endlessly, hoping for a new number. Okay, let me continue mapping this place out. Gallows. Right, now we take a right. Is there anything? No, there is not. Anything? Okay, so this is the other side of the dock. Is there anything else? Can I go forward from here? No. Okay. So now I need to go back into the forest. Open... Shoot. Open this thing up. go? Oh, does this... Wait. Oh, I forgot that would work. Yeah, forgot exactly how these things worked. I know they open and you need to put in a code on here. That's an oh, is that the third end game, like the third big puzzle? I love how like overly mechanical and elaborate all this stuff is. Okay. Oh yeah, Myst games have great contraptions. Okay, that floor is closed. I think in terms of like mechanical like contraptions, I think Myst 3 probably has the best ones of those because it is very much just like mechanics. Which I can't wait to go back to Myst 3. That game's so good. Okay. Let's... Okay. And we are here. Floor is closed. Yeah. Whee! Oh, hey, it's the guy from the beginning. Okay, that's... Where the fuck is he? He's gone? Oh. Oh, shit. Yeah, I remember big puzzles of this, but not the layout. Secret hidden compartment in the wall. And I can't see. Okay, just keep on going. Okay. Okay, I thought they were colored differently, but no, that was just the outside light. Yeah, this is one of the big puzzles. Okay, so they're the animal stones here, and I have to hit them in a particular order. I do not have all the information for that yet. I've got the bug, which seems to go second, which is, yeah, that thing. And then that whale thing that had the tusks is fifth. And then whatever made that chirp thing is third. So I've got 2 animals nailed down. Still looking for two sounds for the other 2. And the last one, I hear the sound, but I don't know what animal it's associated with. I forgot this was up here. Okay. And shortcut. Okay, let me... Okay, is there anything else? No. Okay. I feel like I've done all I can here. Unless I'm gonna do a quick sweep. Of the forest to make sure... Are there any of those balls that I'm missing? I don't see any. Alright, now, before I forget, I'm going to take a little break here and read this diary that Atris gave me, which I have forgotten to do. Otherwise I will completely forget. 87-610. They held for more than 30 years, but the corrections I made to Riven have finally failed. The island has resumed the familiar pattern of decay that is the hallmark of my father's work. I must now race to implement this new patch before it's too late. Yeah, he's a software developer? I only hope that my revised theories are sound. Yeah, prepare for a decent amount of this. I think there's less reading than in Myst, but they're still reading. 87-616. Revisions to Riven completed. There are still a number of minor adjustments which need to be made, but the basic corrections have been entered and should be working. Something's not right. I've been monitoring the instruments for several hours now, but have thus far observed no change. It's possible that I've made an error, though I've checked my entry against my pre-notation and can find no discrepancy. I've not had a rest in nearly 3 days, so it may be that I'm not just seeing it. If the fault is with my foundational assumptions, however, perhaps after a short rest, I will see something. 87-6-18. Success. It appears that my repairs have been effective after all. The gateway image has become noticeably clearer, and although it is impossible to know this with absolute certainty, the island seems to have quieted itself. Just a few more weeks of work, and I should be free at last to go there myself and attempt to bring Catherine back. The past 8 months have left me little time to think, to devise a strategy for getting her out of there. I have received no sign from her in all that time. I am afraid that... No, I must assume that she is all right, lest my fears undermine my efforts to bring her back. Yes, essentially that's what he's doing. He's patching in bug fixes for the world. The world is like fundamentally broken, and it's going to go at some point. He's basically just trying to band-aid it for long enough. 87-6-19. I did not create the Age of Riven. Unlike my father, I have never presumed to have such power, and yet the future of all those who live there has fallen into my hands. So far, I've managed to read the page before it turns. The island continues to appear stable, and I would like to believe that I have saved a dying world, but the theories of one individual cannot support the lives of real people indefinitely. I must get everyone off of Riven as soon as possible. The problem now is Gen. I'll never be able to rescue Catherine and relocate the islanders if he is still the man he once was. I haven't seen him in over 30 years, but his history forces me to assume that he is still a threat. His myopic mission to restore the Dani civilization has left too many innocent cultures dying in its wake, and would continue to do so were he to once again be free of the confines of Riven, or the Fifth Age, as he coldly titled it. The universe has been safe from his corruptive influence for the last 33 years, because no one has been able to leave that age. The last linking book out of Riven having been lost in the Star Fissure upon my return to Myst, and that is actually that's the opening scene to Myst. You don't have the context for it at the time, but that was my intention, to maroon my father on Riven by removing all the existing links to other worlds. And since the art of constructing books had long been lost with the fall of the Dani, he would be trapped there for the remainder of his lifetime, and effectively segregated from the countless other worlds that he would have invaded. In effect, that is what we achieved, but the way it fell, however, was no one's ideal. Though the sting of the incident has gradually faded from my memory, the deep pain of the responsibility for what actually came to be has never left me. At the time it all seemed so clear. Gen's destructive path could not be allowed to continue. But it was never my choice that the innocent inhabitants of Riven, who had already suffered so much, would be the ones to pay for it. Enough. To dwell in the past is to die in the present. The situation is not the same as it was then. The knowledge I have acquired in the years since that time has yet to be applied to this problem. 87-6-20. I think I had the solution. Why it did not occur to me sooner, I do not know, unless the idea of it had been pushed out with the thought of my sons. Prison book. Many years ago, during a hunting expedition through the ruins of Dani, I chanced upon a formula for a most unusual type of book. Unfortunately, due to the fact that my father was then in the habit of confiscating my discoveries, I was forced to leave it behind. Years later, however, as part of my efforts to protect the vulnerable worlds linked to the books in my library, I was pleased to find that I could still recall most of the formula, and with little experimentation quickly succeeded in creating one of those devices myself. The procedure is actually quite simple. By altering key lines of text, but slightly, a normal linking book's connection can be partially severed, such that anyone who attempts to use the book will be permanently trapped in the dark void of the link. That is, unless someone else then uses the book, at which point that person would become trapped and the first person displaced back into the world. The technique can be applied to books that have already been written, changes to the original text being so slight that anyone who is unfamiliar with the code will be able to detect them. If indeed my father has not changed, what better bait could there be than a book that appeared to be a link back here to Dani? 87-7-2. Trouble. My nightly analysis of the island's condition has revealed that the tremors have begun again. The pattern, however, is new. The disturbances are a result of the changes I have made. This did not, at first, concern me, however. Tremors of this type were one of the possible side effects that I had anticipated during this initial phase of the island's readjustment. Still, in order to verify my assumptions, I decided to calculate again, incorporating the new data. The results were not what I expected. The damage to the understructure is more extensive than I'd realized. I can no longer go to Riven as planned. Catherine, forgive me. 8773. I must act while I still have the time. The signs are barely visible, but there's no question that the island's deterioration is accelerating. Total collapse is imminent, unless I can keep ahead, and that is becoming increasingly difficult to do. 8775. With every passing moment, I gain a clearer picture of the incredible chaos that my father's economy of words has yielded. But it is a dismaying process. The complexity of the problem is overwhelming. There is no end to this. The last few days have all but convinced me that the collapse of Riven is inevitable, and that, at best, I can only strive to delay it now, and hope that at some point the island will become stable enough to risk a rescue attempt. 8777. I think I've come up with a way to subdue the tremors. It will require my exclusive attention for at least a month or two, so it may be necessary to discontinue these journal entries for a while. 87-7-13. Something truly miraculous has happened. Beyond all conceivable probability, someone has finally found my lost Myst linking book and has freed me from this prison. I immediately realized that this could be the solution to my dilemma, and I believe my mysterious benefactor is willing to assist me. I'm still not sure it can work. The logistics of such a scheme are formidable, but the mere fact that it may now be possible for me to continue my repairs to Riven, and yet proceed with my original intent to find Catherine, has given me renewed hope. 87-7... Ow. It bumped me out of the game. Oh well. 87-7-16. The last few days have left me little time to work out the remaining problems with sending someone else to Riven. It did occur to me, however, that if a way could be found to signal me once Gen had been captured, it would no longer be necessary to take a real linking book to Riven and risk the possibility of inadvertently releasing Gen. The deteriorated state of the gateway image makes the use of a visual signal impossible, but the picture remains a reliable indicator of Riven's condition nonetheless. By measuring and interpreting variations in the noise patterns, I am still able to observe basic changes that occur in the age, even though I cannot see them. The problem is that my instruments can only detect changes that occur on a fundamental level. Ugh. And it seems unlikely that an individual could effect such an elementary change from within an age. The idea may be foolish. Hold on, 1 second. Need to take a drink. Still, there is a known weakness that may be worth investigating, an anomaly that appears as a rift between two separate systems, the star fissure. But how, or even if, this fact could be exploited, I cannot say. Sending someone to Riven also means that once I receive the signal that they were ready to return, I would have to leave my writing in order to take a real linking book there myself. However, provided my father was safely out of the way, this should take very little time. After that, assuming the island does not incur much damage in my absence, it should then be a relatively simple matter to hold it together long enough for Catherine to return to Riven and evacuate the remaining islanders. Predetermining a signal without knowing the topography of the island may prove to be impossible, but I'm afraid there can be only one answer to the question of whether or not I should send my friend to Riven with a way out. The potential for failure will be greatly diminished if the prison book is all that is taken there. I'm sure my father is expecting me to bring a linking book to Riven. May he not be disappointed. So yeah, that's basically the backstory of this. And another roller coaster on a minecart this time. Yeah. So basically, he's patching in bug fixes for the world, but imagine if you were trying to fix a program, but the program is inherently broken, and you can't start over from scratch. That's what he's working with here. Okay, and this is... Whoa! Oh, I forgot that happened. You dumped out of a chute. Okay, so this is... There are 5 islands. This is the 4th. And the 5th one is fairly minor. You don't reach it until near the end of the game, so... For all intents and purposes, this is the last of the islands I'll be visiting for now. Okay, so... So this is like geothermal energy of some kind, which seems to be coming out from that pipe and is delivered to one of these 3 places. If I send it to this... Okay, so it's a mulcher. I think they're taking trees from the one island and bringing them here. Okay. Okay, that stopped something. It stopped the water from bubbling, so... Yeah, that's heating the water. So let's turn that off. Not do anything. Okay. So that's all that does. Okay, let's set that power to come out here. Yeah, it's like a furnace of some kind. Oh, okay, it opens now. Now that I've got the heat shut off. But I can't... Yeah, but it's still filled with water, so I can't go down. Hmm? What did that do? Oh! That drained it. Okay. Go through like a drainage tunnel. Get up here. I'm not exactly sure what each of those did, but let's send the power or whatever it is over to the other building here. Oh yeah, you get a little treat. And now, if we pull it up, okay, I think we just have to leave it there for a while. So, yeah, I'm going to send that back down. Leave it for now. Okay, so let me... What's down here? Oh, hey, it's that big... Okay, so this one... Okay, so there's a... thing in the rock somewhere. Maybe... I don't know. Yep, they pulled the same trick again. Okay. So I've got the symbol for that. And that's the one that's broken. That light was broken. So I don't know what color is associated with that one yet. Oh, I caught something. So that chirping I heard was the frog. So, okay, I've got 3 of the animals now. Let me go over here. This building. Locked. Oh, this is that... Wait, was that a... Yeah, it's like a power... Okay. Riven! Event crawler. By some very loose definition. Okay, let's open up the doors first. Okay, so I got 3 of the animals that I'm going to need. Okay. Okay, yeah, and this is where I came out before. What is this? Okay, it looks like it's a linking book, but it's just a black picture on the screen. Oh, another ball. Okay, so that's one, I think. 87-728. This must have been written by Gen. Last week, while monitoring the situation of the villagers from the scope in my survey room, I observed one of the natives swim out to a small object that appeared to be floating, but anchored near the entrance to the bay. I ordered the object removed from the water for inspection. Several days later, however, I was surprised to see another floating there. The missing object had apparently and quite mysteriously been replaced with a new one overnight. I've long been aware of the existence of similar artifacts on the villagers' island, but I have paid them little notice until now. Tomorrow I shall send surveyors to catalog the others. So, okay. So we don't have that one. We don't know what it is, because there's no sound associated with it. Floating but anchored near the entrance to the bay. So maybe it's those plesiosaur things? Maybe. Let me... Okay, how long is this? Okay. Let me finish checking out this place first. Okay, so I can put something in here to crush it. I don't know if I need to do that. It may have just been something Gen was doing. Anything in these drawers? No. Rocks? Is that it? That's the only drawer that can open? Okay. Whoops. Okay. And that, I don't know what any of this stuff is. Okay. Journal time. Told you there'd be reading. Okay, back to the beginning. 82-213. The latest ink formulation has proven a failure. Even when writing in my most promising books, I obtain only the barest glimmer of a connection. It is frustrating to expend so much effort creating a blank book, only to end up destroying it when it doesn't work. There are days when the lab is uncomfortably warm from the flames of these failed attempts. The further I refine each element, the formulations of the inks and papers, the physical dimensions of the book, the more I realize that the list of potential combinations is nearly infinite. It is during moments like these that I despair. Without access to Donnie, my long-term goals may never be accomplished. Nevertheless, there are avenues of research which remain to be explored. So, yeah, Gen is trying to make books. He's trying to find a way off. Okay. 8258. I am discontinuing regular observations of the stars beneath the fissure. Although I've been able to track the dark cloud-like formations that migrate through the starfield, and have proven that their paths are cyclical, without proper instrumentation it is pointless to continue. My general theory concerning the nature of the fissure has remained unaltered since it first appeared. It seems that the fabric of this age has been breached in a way that permits matter to be hospitably exchanged between two discrete but overlapping spaces, much like a link, but the apparent physical contradictions surrounding this juncture defy logical reason. The great column of wind that was formed when the fissure first appears suggests a vacuum, as one might expect in space, yet my early experimentations reveal the presence of a breathable atmosphere. That Atris and Catherine threw themselves into the void is further evidence that it might be able to travel, that it might be safe to travel, but without knowing its true nature I cannot take the risk myself. It is also difficult to say what would happen if I were to reopen it after so long, but it is likely that the results would be catastrophic given the changes that have occurred in this age since that time. Maintenance on the steam vent caps completed. 83-210. I am extremely pleased with the continued success of this system. Nope. Clicked off the page. I am extremely pleased with the continued success of this system. I believe the construction to have been true to the Donnie designs of my memory, another example of the superiority of the Donnie technology. It's ironic that Atris and Catherine unwittingly provided me with such a convenient source of power. As with many of my views over the years, my thoughts regarding the origin of the fissure have changed. I have recently begun to wonder whether it was actually an unexpected byproduct of the changes Catherine and Atris wrote into the age during their escape. Certainly by casting their linking book into the void, they trapped me here quite effectively, but I do not believe that Atris intended the book to be lost in this manner. Much better to destroy it than to risk the possibility of its falling into unknown hands. Also, had they foreseen the creation of the fissure, they would surely have thought that the vacuum it created would eventually consume the atmosphere of this planet, a fate which Catherine undoubtedly would have deemed unacceptable for her home world. If I had not been there to supervise the construction of the seal, this is most certainly what would have happened, for the villagers were far too frightened to even approach the vortex without my urging. I hold on to the belief that it was an unintended consequence of their writing for another reason as well. I prefer to think that my son had meant for this age to be merely a prison for me, rather than a death sentence. 83-5-14. The construction of the imagers has proceeded without fault. It is interesting to see how easily I've been able to adapt the Donnie technology to mimic that of the Ahmadi, I think. In some ways the similarities between the two cultures was striking. I wonder if perhaps there had been communication or commerce between the two cultures in earlier times. Maybe Keta's people were even descendants of the Dani. It pleases me to think so. Note, it's possible that if I were somehow able to supply the books with a power source of sufficient magnitude, I could suppress the variance enough to facilitate a solid link. It is doubtful that the geothermal cap generators could provide such an enormous surge. Perhaps I could adapt the fire marbles. I have been cataloging the natural elements of this age for nearly 30 years now, yet still I continue to find evidence of the Dani's preoccupation with 5. As a boy, it was very clear to me that the number 5 had a special significance to the Dani society. From the ancient heraldic emblems of the ruling elite to the humble homes of the commoners, it was ubiquitous. Its presence here is obviously a direct reflection of the minds that designed the texts that I used to compose this age. Further proof... dang it! I clicked off the page again. Further proof that through their art, the Dani masters were indeed creating the marvelous worlds they wrote, and not, as many have mistakenly thought, merely building links to pre-existing worlds. While most of my constructions have been based on Dani designs, I see now that the ones that I have imbued with the power of 5 are clearly the most beautiful, the most perfect, and, I believe, the most structurally sound. I am still attempting to determine how the Dani color symbology reflects this superior design principle. Although superficially it is based on a 6-color system, I am convinced that there has to be a deeper connection to 5. I will continue to investigate. I finally made a breakthrough. I have succeeded in modifying the fire marbles to generate enough power to hold the descriptive linking book in a stable matrix. I have linked to a new world. It is a harsh and desolate age, but is nonetheless well suited for my purposes. And so I have designated it my whatever that is. By studying it closely, I believe I will eventually be able to create a more appropriate age for us to resettle on. For now, I will build an office and set up my living quarters there, in order that I may conduct my experiments in safety and without distraction. I must... Yes, descriptive linking book is a good phrase. I must admit that I am proud of my work. To think that in such primitive conditions I have accomplished in 29 years what it took the original Donnies centuries to achieve. Note: repair outerwear for work on this world. The goggles may need to be redesigned altogether. So, yeah, with regards to the books, there's the... I don't know why they use the phrase descriptive linking book, but maybe because it's a combination. But there's a descriptive book which actually describes, like, the world that is within. And then there's the linking book, which is what has those pictures on it, which you can actually use to go there. You need both. 84-413. I have begun construction on a series of link sites for each island that will connect Riven with my new office on whatever that is. The Survey Guild has finally completed the site location for each island. According to my exact specifications, an installation of the domes is underway at last. Work on the central power source got off to a bit of a bad start, I'm afraid, but the pace has picked up considerably since then, and I anticipate no further delays. I'm looking forward to finally having a civilized mode of transportation. Due to the rebels' continued disturbances, I've decided to install a coded access system into all the domes. Okay. So, the code for those domes is that. The dome code is those symbols. Okay, I've got because I don't remember what those numbers are off the top of my head. So I've got to open that somehow. 8567. I caught one of my assistants looking over this journal today. I'm glad I've chosen to write it in a language they cannot decipher. Note: discuss security with each guildmaster. No problems expected from the maintainers, educators, and surveyors. Question the bookmakers and builders more closely. 86-10-24. Today I heard several more reports of spirit sightings by some of the villagers. It seems that under Catherine's leadership, the rebels, or the Black Moiety, as the villagers obstinately insist on referring to them, have attained a new level of sophistication in their terror tactics, and have renewed their campaign to intimidate the villagers into joining them, playing upon their shared superstitions. The villagers are certainly susceptible to this form of coercion, especially given, of late, the rebels' increasing acts of vandalism and theft. 87-115. The tram traps... is that what those are? Or the tram traps, whatever it is, have been steadily fruitful this year. Apparently, the breakup of the islands has not adversely affected the subterranean ecosystems. Unfortunately, I imagine the rebels are experiencing a similarly generous harvest. Oh, okay, it's a fruit or food or something. No shortage of poison for their darts this season. Moiety is a real word, each of two social or ritual groups into which people is divided, especially among Australian Aboriginal people and some North American Indians. Yeah, that tracks, because that's kind of like that at least it appears like how they're portrayed. here, like as Native American kind of things, kind of people. Okay, unfortunately, I imagine the rebels are experiencing a similarly generous harvest, no shortage of poison for their darts this season. Such morbid issues aside, the sudden availability has allowed me to refine a particularly pleasant extract for my pipe, one that is smoother than any of the others from recent years. 87-329. Chemical analysis of one of the rebel knives has yielded curious results. Its composition contains elements that are unlike anything I've encountered on the islands. It appears they have access to a resource of which I am unaware. Perhaps a mine on an uncharted island, and that's that dagger. Note, most of the knives have been found on the south side of the village. This is the same area in which there have been reports of people mysteriously disappearing. I think a closer inspection of the area is warranted. The fact that they have these distinctive knives as a sign of their presence concerns me. They're growing more bold, and seem to no longer fear discovery of their hideout. 87-627. The latest measurements indicate that the recent trend has continued. The movement of the islands has slowed tremendously. My previous estimates predicted a total collapse in approximately 3 months. With the new figures, I am uncertain. I have nearly finished writing the blah 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 age, and I have every faith that it will indeed be a safe place for us to relocate to. Yet it would be helpful to know what has caused the halt in this age's breakup. I think we know. That's Atris that's doing that. Is it possible that it's stable after all? If so, I must discover how this age differs from my less successful attempts. My examination of the age have thus far proven inconclusive. Or perhaps someone is repairing damage to the fifth age. If so, it would almost certainly be Atris's doing. Bing, bing, bing. There you go. I have reluctantly decided to abandon my experiments into the behavior of the water of this age, as there are more pressing matters on which I must now concentrate, leaving me little time for such speculative research. For future reference, however, my investigations up to this point have revealed the following. I believe the remarkable properties of the water to be caused by a life form that resides in it, specifically a type of bacteria. I am imagining a mobile, unicellular organism, but one with structures capable of holding bits of water, whose combined effect, via surface tension, a stronger force, causes the composite body of water to move in response to heat. Prolonged exposure to extreme heat, for example, a period of extended boiling, seems to kill the bacteria, which would explain its dramatic aversion to heat sources. Unfortunately, those theories are still not fully tested, and I remain ignorant both of its deeper nature and its possible uses. How many pages are left? Okay, there's not much left. 8776. An exciting development. Last night, the squad of maintainers stumbled upon a lone rebel scout and obtained from him a most incredible device. It is a crystal that somehow powers 3 flawed linking books, much as my own system does, but with an obvious advantage. It is small and weighs only a few pounds, making it completely portable. Catherine must have fabricated the device before I captured her. Obviously, with an explicit Donnie schematic she must have brought with her to this age. If only I had had access to such a document all these years. Regardless, I can now concentrate solely on the writing of ages, and need no longer worry about building elaborate power supplies for each new book I write. This is a sobering reminder, however, that I must continue to seek an avenue to Donnie. Regaining access to the resources there may be crucial to the completion of my mission. Okay, I am going to... what? Oh, okay. So I am going to leave off there. Let me save. So that's where I'm going to leave it for the night. I hope you enjoyed this. I will be back with part 2 on Monday. I'll be going for another 2 hours or so. I don't know how many parts this is going to take to finish. Maybe 3 or 4, 5 at most, I would guess. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed part 1 of Riven. Have a good rest of your week, everybody, and have a good weekend. I will see you again on Monday at 8 p.m. Take care.